I admittedly did not watch a ton of movies from 2025 this year. However, I did watch a lot of movies that were still new to me. So, this is my list of my top 10 movies that I watched for the first time in 2025. And they are in no particular order because it was hard enough to get it down to 10. I can't put it in order. Starting off with a film that was mentioned in a previous video, Y Tu Mama Tambien. This follows two high school boys and an older woman on a road trip. The road trip is full of self-discoveries and sexual awakenings. It is so beautiful, and both Diego Luna and Gael Garcia Bernal were fantastic. You guys know that I love a film that breaks my heart, but with this one, the journey was so beautiful. Another tragically beautiful film was Waves. This sat on my watch list for a really long time because it wasn't streaming anywhere, but I think that this was the perfect time for me to watch it. I think that I've lived the perfect amount of life to be able to connect with this. This follows a family as they deal with loss, love, and heartbreak. The cinematography and soundtrack just emphasize the already great writing and acting. Really recommend this one. One Battle After Another is probably my biggest surprise of the year. I expected to like this. I did not expect to completely fall in love with it. There is so much of this film that I think about almost on a daily basis. Leo's comedy was a highlight where he's stoned through the whole movie, but the scene that really stuck out to me the most is a scene where Leo's talking about not being able to do his daughter's hair, and just with everything else that's going on in the film at that point, it did make me cry in the theater. Train to Busan is another one that surprised me. When I have so many people telling me to watch a movie, I get nervous that I'm gonna hate it because that happens a lot. But that was a useless worry in this case. The fact that an infection movie had me crying multiple times is crazy. You get so attached to these characters, so seeing their fates was really hard sometimes. The detail in this was great, like especially how many infected people we see. Incredible. Him was my most anticipated movie of the year, so I'm really glad that I didn't fall into the group of people that felt that this fell short. I like to see something different, especially in the horror genre. And when it has Jordan Peele's name on it, I know that it's going to be right up my alley. The visuals, stunning. You truly have to experience this in the theater. It gave me a new appreciation for Marlon Wayans and a new love for Tyreek Withers. They were fantastic together, and I thought that the casting was just great. Sinners honestly started my obsession with the spit shot, if you have seen that on my page. I have seen the criticisms for this, and I just disagree. It may resemble From Dusk Till Dawn, yes, but so what? Michael B. Jordan was fantastic. The music was fantastic. The end credit scene made the movie so much better. I don't care what everyone says. I don't care what people are saying. I loved this one. I know I've talked about this film in previous videos, but it has to be named here. Irreversible. There are two different versions of this. The original, where it is told, the night is told in reverse order, and then the straight cut, where it's told in sequence and order. because the original starts at the end of the night and the camera work is there to make you disoriented, you feel very out of it, very confused. And then when we get to the brutal event, it stops and it calms down after. I feel like part of the tragedy with this is seeing the beginning of the night at the end. So that is my long-winded way of saying that I prefer the original. This is very quickly becoming one of my favorites. This is another one that's already been named in previous videos, Secretary. This changed my brain chemistry. It changed me. Long story short, love it. Satan's Slaves is the movie that I recommended the most this year, I believe. It is an Indonesian film about a family that starts experiencing weird events after the death of their mother. I've watched more foreign films this year than ever, and this is one of my favorites. It creeped me out and kept me completely glued until the end. There is a sequel, and usually I hate sequels, but it's actually almost as good as the first one. And Yoko Anwar, the writer and director, has other really great films, so look him up. Last but not least, The Sadness. I feel like people think that I'm fucked up when I talk about loving this one so much. It was so tense from beginning to end. The effects were great. I love gore, especially when it has a well-written story. I've watched this one twice this year, and I feel like I might be due for a rewatch. What are some of your favorite watches from this year?